Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Ladies and gentlemen, Evertonians, it has happened. So any Evertonians watching, I want to say congratulations, and I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy for your new gaffer too. We're going to get into it from a Chelsea perspective too, because we have vested interest in what Everton have just done, and we've been through the process ourselves, so we can give you guys a sense of what to expect and what not to expect. And, you know, also an additional point, what he might take to the Everton job, which he didn't have as Chelsea manager. So make sure you stay tuned for that through the length of this video. Just to let you know, before we get into proceedings, make sure you're checking out my Twitch and my second channel. Make sure you're subscribed and following me on those. Links are in the description for additional content. Also, a third video of the day will be uploaded later on. It will not be a Reddit video, just to let you guys know. I apologize for that. It's deadline day, so we are going to leave this completely transfer related today. Obviously, there's this video. At the end of this video, I'm going to be talking about other happenings at other clubs. Newcastle, for example, they've won the transfer window. Let's have it right, and it's no surprise, but we'll get into that at the end. Later on's video will be Chelsea related, and we'll talk about Chelsea's January transfer window, which has basically been non-existent. So I'll give you my thoughts on that, and we'll dive into detail. But starting off with this one, second video of the day, following from my Africa Cup of Nations quarter-final review earlier on today, so make sure you check that out if you haven't. Everton have confirmed that they have appointed Frank Lampard as their new manager. Let's have a look and see how it all looks, like, because Frank at Everton is something I never expected to see, but it's here. So check this out. Everton Football Club can confirm the appointment of Frank Lampard as the club's new manager. And there he is, holding up an Everton jersey. I mean, it doesn't look as weird as I initially thought, because it is blue. And Frank has always been blue, so, you know, it does suit him. If you look in terms of their Twitter page, there's obviously him giving a message, and him at the training ground, and him here giving an interview, and, you know, letting everyone know what he feels about taking up the job, and all sorts. So, yeah, check that out if you haven't already. But Frank Lampard at Everton, from a Chelsea perspective, I can really give a good insight for any Everton fans watching, and I'm sure all the other Chelsea content creators can do exactly the same, because we've lived it and breathed it, and we know what it's like. This sort of job is what Frank should have taken before the Chelsea job. And I think I can, you know, speak for most. I think most of you would agree with me. After Derby, Chelsea was too far. It was just too high. Also, him having basically no experience of going through a transfer window or being able to take initiative of the signings that he wants, how to manage a squad of that caliber. I felt like at Derby, he was, you know, building the foundations for himself, and he was doing it quite well, despite obviously losing that Championship playoff final. But it's a base, it's a foundation. You've got to start somewhere. Jumping straight to Chelsea? Champions League, this, that, and yeah, I mean, bloody hell, it's not easy. It's not easy. And going to Everton would have been the perfect step before going to Chelsea. However, what I want to say for Everton, this will work out better, because he's been to the highest level and he's seen it, and he's made tons of mistakes, and he's able to go to Everton, which is the level slightly below, and I think he'll find himself at home. Not just that. But Frank Lampard as a person, as, you know, his aura, just the name, Frank Lampard, I think will be enough to be able to tempt players to come to Everton. You know, players going to Everton, let's face it, are not going to expect, we're going to win the league. You know, I think they go to Everton and they'll have that expectation of Premier League, top end of the table, competing with the best, trying to get a European spot. Cool. Frank Lampard has had experience at the highest level. Is Frank Lampard as a professional is a top man. Let's have it right. It's just in terms of the way he carries himself, his professionalism. He's been praised by basically every single manager he's ever played for, and every person he's been around, about how professional he is in whatever he does. So you're in safe hands in that aspect. Don't expect any drama. Don't expect any chaos. Don't expect any of that. However, what I do want to say, the one thing that I hope he's learned from Chelsea to Everton is his man management in terms of the squad. Everton look like a squad where there aren't any massive personalities or egos, so that's good. That's a good start. I think everyone can be on the level playing field. But Frank Lampard, in terms of the players that he doesn't choose, I hope he's learned how to manage them. Because at Chelsea, that's where it went wrong for him. At Chelsea, the players that were playing for him loved him. Fantastic. You know, your Mason Mounts, for example. The youth that he managed to bring up. Even so, the players that were playing basically anyway. Cool. But the players that were kind of, not really involved, you had a Tomori and a Zuma, for example, being used all the time. Zuma was quite happy. Rudiger wasn't. Rudiger was shunned. But you see the way that Rudiger's playing now, you think, oh my God, if we had used him back then, what would have happened? That's Frank Lampard's man management. Because at the time, Rudiger, Kepa, Jorginho, Marcos Alonso, all of those sort of guys were just expelled. And the reports that come out after Frank Lampard had been sacked, or even at the time of his sacking, were that these players had not even been spoken to. They were just basically abandoned, or they felt abandoned. Thomas Tuchel's managed to come into Chelsea and managed to save that situation, bring everyone around and bring the squad as a collective together. Frank Lampard, I hope, has learned now how to do that and learned from that mistake he made at Chelsea. The players that are not playing, he needs to keep that arm around them. He needs to keep that motivation up. He needs to, keep them on their toes. And if he can do that, he has the base to be a good manager. He really does. In terms of the way that he plays, we all know he is someone that likes to progress, go forward, play attacking, have that sort of brand. Defensively at Chelsea, he was pretty poor. And that's something that I hope at Everton he won't replicate. At Everton, I think he has a good level in terms to be able to command that respect. I think in terms of the squad, as I've said that already, there are no egos. So he'll have that respect. He needs to be able to leave his footprint from the get-go and make sure that everyone understands that it's his way or the highway, in a good way though. So I'm hoping he does that, and I think he will. I just hope that with the expectation now of Everton, they're probably thinking, Everton fans, you guys are probably thinking, oh, Frank Lampard's in. Oh my God, okay, cool. We can compete for trophies. Don't. Don't. Not that soon. Not that soon. Have the first year. The first year under Frank Lampard will be roses. Rainbows and roses. You're going to love it. It's nice. It feels great. And when he feels that passion, he gets passionate. When he feels that, the team are winning, they're scoring goals, you'll see what he's like in front of all of you in terms of the ones that attend Goodison Park. He'll be there going up to the stands, going crazy, going, yeah, come on, let's have some of it. He'll be going mad with all of you. Yeah, you're going to love it. The second season is where, after a transfer window or so, if he gets the players that he wants, he also needs to learn how to identify the players that he wants and make sure he has a plan in order to know how to execute them. So that's one thing. But the second season onwards is where you really got to keep your eye on Frank Lampard. And let's see if he's learned from his mistakes at Chelsea. If he manages to keep the squad together, I feel like he can build a very good base and a good foundation for himself. And I feel like this level is very good for him. And Frank Lampard is good for Everton compared to what Everton have had lately in terms of Benitez and whatnot. It's been a catastrophe overall. So with Frank at the helm, I think you guys are going to find a little bit of stability. He's a young coach. He's an upcoming coach. In terms of the staff that are coming with him, you've got Joe Edwards that's coming with him. Joe Edwards has just left Chelsea to go and join Frank Lampard. You will not be getting Anthony Barry, just to let you guys know. At Everton, we're very sorry, but no. We're not letting go of Anthony Barry. I'm sorry. He actually brings a lot to the table, has done since youth level for Chelsea, in terms of managing at youth level. So Anthony Barry stays at Chelsea. But Joe Edwards, who was one of his staff at Chelsea, is coming to Everton. Expect good things from him. I feel like this is a very good appointment overall. I really do. And we'll see how the squad react. I honestly think for the rest of the season, you're going to see Everton be very positive. Everton are, I think, going to get good results now. I think they're going to find that stability. He's going to lift the mood. The summer window, that's where you got to be realistic. Let's see who you guys get. Let's see who Frank Lampard's able to try and pull. And then going into the second season, or, his first full season, that's where we're really going to find out if Frank Lampard has moved on to be a better manager, or is he still stuck in a couple of his old bad habits that let him down at Chelsea. So, we'll see what happens. I'm very happy for him, to be honest. Personally, I think for him, if we're talking about Frank now as a manager and what this can do for him, I think this is great. I think he wouldn't have been able to get a better job. Any club higher than Everton right now are all they all have managers. They all have, well, a long-term plan, it seems, at least, long-term in modern day football. But they all have someone that they've brought in on a good contract, not someone who's about to duck out or someone that, has just left and there's a club that have a vacant position. Everton right now are there. And he's taken it. I'm happy he did because he refused the Norwich job. There's nothing else going on in between. Aston Villa got Steven Gerrard. So I'm thinking, look, if you want to be a manager and you want to stay in England, this is the only one for you. If you're going to turn them down, just go back to punditry. He's taken the job. And I feel like he's made the right decision. And I think at Everton, as long as he can keep his head on his shoulders, not get carried away, not let any ego come through, because at Chelsea there was a sense at the end that maybe it was a bit of ego starting to come through in a bad way. As long as he doesn't do that, then he'll be lush and he'll be good. And I reckon he'll succeed. But I wish him the best. I really do. I want him to be a top manager. He's still young. He's got loads of time. I just hope Everton don't expect too much and just let the process ride out. Obviously in a good way. Don't do it the way that like Arsenal or any other clubs are, trusting the process. But hey, you never know. Things might turn around even there. Sometimes you got to let things plan out. And I think with Frank, Everton should just do that. Good luck to Frank. As I've said, very happy to Lamps. For us, he's still a club legend, as always. That will never leave. And I'm wishing the best for him and for Everton. Good luck, Everton. I think you've got yourselves a good one. So best wishes and let's see what happens. Let me know what you think in the comment section below in regards to Everton. Now, in relation to the rest of the transfer window, let's spend a couple of minutes just briefly. Bloody hell, what a window. We got Aubameyang that's about to join Barcelona. Dembele has been, tossed around like a spliff. Let's have it right. He's been passed around more times than one. It's ridiculous. Chelsea have been linked. PSG have been linked. Man United have been linked. Apparently he's been offered to Arsenal today. I mean, bloody everyone's in for some Dembele today. Bloody hell. But it doesn't look like he's moving. It doesn't look like he's moving at all. I think the talks with PSG are broken down. The latest is that apparently Barca tried to get a swap deal with Dembele for Neymar. What? What? Are you guys mad? Are you guys insane? I mean, it's worth a try, I guess. Sometimes you just got to try, even though you're going to fail. It's not going to happen. So if that was the case, then cool. But if they actually thought that was going to happen, my God, they're mad. Then again, they're desperate. Barca don't have any cash. They are desperate. So Dembele doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Although Chelsea have been linked with a summer move. I'm going to talk about that later on's video for Chelsea when I go in depth into how that window's gone for Chelsea and moving into the summer. But in terms of, there's that going on. Adama Traore's gone back to Barcelona. Obviously, he was one of the La Masia. He was one of the ones that came through there. So he's gone back home, technically. Newcastle. Let's talk about Newcastle. Bloody, they've won the transfer window. No surprises there, to be honest. But I didn't think they would be spending this much in Jan. I thought that they would maybe get a couple names in, but not this many. I mean, let's have it right. If we look at Newcastle just very quickly, they've got themselves, so they managed to get themselves Kieran Trippier. They managed to get Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes is a very, very good signing. A very, very good signing. So that's very impressive in terms of Newcastle and being able to pull off a signing like Bruno Guimaraes. Now, especially at Lyon, Guimaraes done well at Lyon. So I think they've got themselves a good one, and especially in midfield in terms of that stable role, they've managed to get themselves some very good cover now. So we'll see what happens. On top of that, they've managed to get Chris Wood. Trippier I've already mentioned. It looks like they're going to be getting Burn from Brighton. So they're all over the gaff. Their spending's going to go up to 90 million in January. If that gives you any indication, I think it's pretty clear in summer, Newcastle are going to absolutely blow the transfer market. They are. If they're doing this in January and this keeps them up and they stay in the Premier League, which now, based on the signings that they've made or are going to make, I mean, apparently they're not even done yet. There could be one or two more names coming through the door today on deadline day. So this could go up to about 6 players coming in January. If this saves them in summer, they are going to get big names in. Big names. I really do. Or at least they're going to be signing a lot of players. So Newcastle have absolutely smashed it. In terms of Arsenal, it's not gone well at all. at all. They were meant to be getting Vlahovic, and Vlahovic has gone to Juve, basically. He's not leaving Italy, so he stays. They were meant to be getting a couple of other names coming through, and nothing's happened at Arsenal. Instead, there's rumours, obviously, Aubameyang will be leaving to Barcelona today. That is definitely happening. Nicolas Pepe apparently could be on the way out on a loan deal, which makes no sense considering the attackers that they have at their disposal. I think Arsenal fans are all screaming for Pepe to actually play more. So it's a bit crazy. You know, one signing I didn't mention in terms of Newcastle, Joe Willock, and Arsenal didn't manage to, they couldn't keep him. So they let him go to Newcastle. So Arsenal, in terms of this window, has been pretty bad. It's been pretty bad. We'll see what happens today in terms of deadline day if they're able to get anything done. Same could be said for Tottenham. Tottenham have had a horrific window as well. Especially, Bruno Guimaraes was initially linked with a move to Tottenham, ended up going to Newcastle. I think that speaks volumes. In terms of the transfer window as a whole, Conte has not been backed, so that's another thing. What's his reaction going to be? Us Chelsea fans know. And you know what's crazy? Us Chelsea fans know it very well. We know that if you don't back Conte, he'll flip. Now at Chelsea, we didn't even not back Conte. We did get him players, but we just got him. Scraps basically. Tottenham haven't even bothered to get him anything. So we'll see. I don't know unless if they're going to get one deal done today. I think they might be getting one player through the door, but. Conte wants more. Conte wants more. It's crazy at Tottenham. We'll see what happens. And in terms of everywhere else. Yeah, it's been a crazy window overall. Overall, it's actually been a decent window. We'll see what happens today on deadline day, and if there's going to be any blockbuster signings, any last-minute moves, any, Peter Odemwingie in a car park somewhere, or Harry Redknapp in his Range Rover. I mean, we'll see. So, that's the latest. But overall, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Frank Lampard is a new Everton manager, and let me know in terms of your club or any big signings that you're seeing or any signings elsewhere on what you think about it. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you later to discuss Chelsea's January transfer window and where do Chelsea go from here. I'll see all of you then. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.